Hey everyone, it's Aaron Nagler with Cheesehead TV. Let's talk football. And specifically, let's talk about attacking the middle of the field in the passing game, or not doing so, if you're Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I asked Matt LaFleur about that earlier this afternoon when he had some availability, and I got a lot of responses, mostly positive, some negative, which I completely understand, especially when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. These are the things we talk about, right? And before we get going, I just want to give a few people a shout out because this is something that I've, been noticing for a while. And then in 2019, I thought it really came into focus. And when I went to research prior to asking this question, I found a lot of people kind of backing up what I have felt anecdotally, just from watching the film, etc. First of all, Josh Hermsmeyer with 538 did a great piece about this. Someone named Archon14, whose real name I couldn't find over at Acme Packing Company, also wrote a really good post about this. Also, check out Sports Info Solutions and Next Gen Stats. And speaking of Next Gen Stats, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying that Aaron Rodgers can't do this, because I know he can. And that was illustrated by Peter Bukowski in a great post also over at Acme Packing Company. Google all that, research all that. It's all there. The numbers, and that's why I led the question the way I did. And before we keep going, let me just play the question that I gave Matt and his response.
Coach, if you look at any metric, the tape, heat maps, whatever you want, it was pretty clear that Aaron, your quarterback, was kind of adverse to throwing in the middle of the field last year. Would you like him to attack the middle of the field a little more?
Well, I'd like him to attack wherever the play is designed to attack and read it the right way.
So is that something you would like to do a little bit more of in your playbook?
Yeah, I think that's, we're kind of working through all that right now. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you always want your quarterback to feel confident and comfortable with what we're asking them to do. I think every game plan's a little bit different, but certainly I was pretty excited. I can think of one play in particular where he hit Devontae on an in-breaker versus Chicago off a play action pass that went for 35, 40 yards. I thought that was a great moment for us as an offense, for Aaron individually, and we're going to continue to work on all those types of things.
Okay, shout out to Coach. I love it when a coach deflects any kind of criticism or even perceived criticism of his quarterback and or any player and turns it in on himself and his play calling and the design of the play, etc. So I have zero doubt that this is something that they have talked about internally. I don't know if Matt's talked about it with Rodgers. I have to assume this has been at least spoken about because the tape is very clear. To show you some examples, I put together a little something to give you an idea about the kinds of things that are very noticeable on tape. And now look, I didn't want to take anything from the first part of the year because clearly both Rodgers and LaFleur are kind of getting used to each other, blah, blah, blah. Rodgers specifically is in a brand new offense after having been in a different offense for over a decade. So I didn't want to look at anything early on in the season. But here are a couple plays from very late in the year that I think illustrate not only what Matt's talking about there, but what I'm talking about and the other folks I mentioned at the start of the video are talking about when it comes to Rodgers shying away, for whatever reason, from pulling the trigger on some of these throws towards the middle of the field. All right, I don't have any fancy coaching clicker nonsense, so you're just going to have to deal with seeing that every once in a while, okay? All right. Now, watch Aaron Jones as he motions out to the perimeter, and watch as Jones and the slot are both going to run in breaking routes, slants. Now watch. Watch as the inside guy sucks the linebacker inside, leaving Jones clear for a first down. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it's a clear first down. Aaron, what if he wasn't looking right? He was looking right at it and then comes off of it for whatever reason. I don't know. Now, look, I know the narrative around the San Francisco game, the NFC Championship, outside of the horrific run defense, has been that, the offense didn't arrive, didn't come to play. Rodgers had a bad game. I hear that a lot. Okay, sure, fine. Let's take that for what it is. He had a bad game. Let's go back a week to the divisional game. against Seattle. A game where he walked off the field, to adulation, arms in the air, conquering hero style. Aaron Rodgers had a great game, throwing all over the yard, touchdowns to Devontae, etc. A lot of fun, right? However, same issues are in that game. Again, look at this play. The outside receiver, this time it's Devontae, and the interior guy, both running slants. Again, the interior sucks in the linebacker. Again, Devontae's wide open, doesn't throw it, turns it down for whatever reason, and he just chucks it away. Now, let's take a look at the play Matt LaFleur talked about in that answer he just gave, right? Now, look, there's going to be motion on this play, and there's going to be play action, and that helps create a wide open lane. And obviously it helps that the DB slips, but Devontae had him beat anyway. But the point is, Aaron is not afraid to throw that. Rodgers has to get back to understanding he's a bad motherfucker. He can make those throws in his sleep. He needs to stop turning down those, what are pretty clear throws. Again, I'm not going to say easy, but those are clear throws that he, two-time MVP, one of the greatest to ever do it, should be making in his sleep. So that's what I'm talking about when I asked Matt LaFleur about not attacking in the middle of the field. And look, I understand these are a handful of plays in a season filled with hundreds of them, but they do illustrate the point I'm trying to make. And I know it's on Matt LaFleur, Luke Getsy, Nathaniel Hackett to draw this out of Rodgers, but ultimately it comes down to Aaron, who, let's face it, is a huge Cheesehead TV fan at this point, so I'm going to address him directly. Aaron, you're still the fucking man. Let it rip. All right, thanks, everybody. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And also, please hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.